Houseology Live.
Houseology Live.
Houseology Live.
Houseology Live.
Houseology Live.
Houseology Live on Humble House Radio.
Up, Houseology Live fam.
Hello, world.
It's another one of those beautiful Mondays, isn't it?
Yes,
Gorgeous.
it is. It's a beautiful Monday. Look at it. It's 6:30.
I sound really good in these headphones today.
Because you got the good one.
Yeah, I got rid of the horrible wired mic now that need to be replaced. It's been beat up by everybody that's done the podcast here.
Oh yeah, those mics have been through.
That's
Been in everyone's mouth.
They were Don't remind me of that. I don't want to know those things. You just reminded me too. Like it's probably time I clean these mic screens
Eat
for our
the
mics.
mic.
Yeah,
Eat the mic.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's time.
if you can smell it, then you know it's time.
Yeah, no, we're good in here. Livy, you have
Yes.
nothing to worry about.
Yeah, we're just totally joking.
Yeah, what's up, Houseology Live fam? It's your boy Ketone. We got Rave Daddy Robbie over there.
Hello.
What's up, Rave Daddy? We
Nice
got
to
the
see y'all
beautiful DJ Volume over
Hey,
here to my
everyone.
left.
She's joining us
Hi,
on set
baby.
today.
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
but
Nice to see you
always
again.
nice to make an appearance.
Yes, good to see ya.
Yep.
And we have
Hopefully we're live.
Yeah, I was
Hopefully
just
they
gonna
can
say,
hear us because I'm the
text us,
sound
yeah.
girl.
yeah, usually you're the.
text us if I screwed it up once again and you can't hear us on the web or something like that. Just let me know.
Oh yeah, they will.
Yeah, let us know.
Oh, I'm sure they will.
So we are missing DJ Embrace. He is out this week. Shout out to you, DJ Embrace. Thank you for booking Livi Baby today.
Yeah, is here. She just texted me.
Oh, nice, perfect.
Yes.
Can't wait to get into that conversation and get to know her. And but we have some topics to go over. A lot of things.
And recap the weekend.
Yeah, we can recap.
A little recap.
Let's start off with the recap before we get into the topics, right? Rave Daddy, you were out in the town.
Well, it was my birthday.
Yeah.
It's your
Yes,
birthday.
it was.
Hey, it's your birthday. Go boy.
What a good night.
What was that?
What a good night.
That was a fun time.
Yes, you
At
guys
Saigon.
played for my birthday party at Saigon Blonde, which
Yeah, that was
last
fun.
year we had, and it was a sardine can.
Yeah.
This year, I had a couple of competing events, so the turnout was a little bit lower, but it wasn't bad.
That's one of our topics, competing events around here. There's stuff around here that's going on. But
Nice.
yes, tell us more. Tell us
Seems
more about
crazy
it.
these days.
I think everybody had great sets. You and Volume played, and then we had Geo and Element and Turin and I Awake. And then who am I forgetting? There's another group in there. I'm forgetting.
Sakali
was in there. Wait, did I get everybody? 1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
6.
Yeah,
4?
Element, yeah. And then Sakali and then you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that
I guess
was
so. I guess I am. I feel like I was forgetting somebody, but yeah, it was a great turnout. A lot of fun. Friday, I was supposed to be recovering, and then I had a couple of people roll over to my house, and then we started DJing there. And then bad mistakes were made, and which we'll say I oozed into Saturday from Friday night. And then Saturday, I was doing a little business with Janice, so I was over there for the Tape B show, which of course
Oh, okay.
everybody's loving Tape B lately.
Yes, they are.
He's the guy. He's one of those guys in bass scene. I guess he would probably be John somebody status. I guess you would call it.
Yeah,
maybe.
Tape B's pretty up there.
Yeah, and super nice guy too. By the way, I went and talked to him a little bit after his sound check.
Nice.
But everything went really good there. I enjoyed the show, and then after that, I did in fact retreat home to go to bed. And even though
Good.
my roommate
You need
came
it.
busting in at 2 a.m. with inspiration and reason for me to stay up longer, I said, "You're crazy. I'm going to bed. I have only had 2 hours of sleep since 10 a.m. Thursday, so we're going to conclude right now." So then Sunday, I get up and I'm just enjoying my Sunday and hanging out. And I'm on the phone with my mother, and I hope everybody called all their mothers or whoever their motherly figure is in their lives and wished them
Yes,
happy Mother's Day.
was cool.
Shout out to the moms.
Yep. And I was talking to her, and I got a text, and it was like, "Hey, who's playing over at Saigon tonight?" And I was like, "Oof," but I wasn't confirmed with me. And so, and incidentally, I ended up running over to Saigon and got there about 11 o'clock. And there was a little event over at the Landing, which is next to Jazz Live for those who are not in the St. Pete area. And that was held by our good friend Inner Sanctuary. We also had Turin and I Awake, their guests there tonight. So that whole crowd comes rolling in at like 11:30. Normally I get to kind of ramp my way up into what I know will become the 1 a.m., 1:30 a.m. slot, where then I know I'm going to have to go hard in the paint. I love what somebody told me, though. At the bar, we went from 0 to Charlie Sheen in like 30 minutes. And that was a great example. That was the perfect way to phrase
That's
it.
what you want.
Yes. Yes.
No other way than Charlie Sheen.
Yes, and I started out with a little deep house, and I jumped over into the house genre and started playing a lot of vocal tracks. Oh my God, some amazing vocal tracks in that house genre lately.
Oh yeah.
I would, if I was smart, I'd pull it up on my here on my internet and tell you about it, but I'm not that smart.
On
today.
your recall?
That's correct.
Your,
Yeah, just. And
your
let
history?
you know, yeah. Well, that or just go to the Beatports where I got most of those tracks from.
Love Beatport.
Yes, and that, and then at about 1:30, slid more into the tech house genre and just closed the night out. But yeah, lots of great music. Had a good crowd till about. Yeah, I mean, there was still at 2:30, probably about 40, 50 people left in the bar.
Nice.
And,
Love that. Yeah, this weekend was
a fun night.
Very eventful weekend all around.
We went to Elderbrook.
We did Elderbrook. Big
how was
shout
that?
out to Baycare Sounds for hooking us up.
Yes.
That was fun.
He's so talented.
He is a very talented guy. I was amazed at what all he was doing. And Sam, you were really amazed. You
I
loved
love
it.
him. The last time I saw him was at Janice. So it was cool seeing him at a bigger stage, and he's just always in his element. He's so fun to watch. I feel like that's so rare these days. A lot of people just lack that.
Yeah.
So he's definitely an entertainer, and he
Yeah,
wants to bring that to every show.
Yeah. It takes a lot, man. That takes a lot to do all of that. He was throwing sticks around, and he had like
He had
he
like
had
20 drumsticks just
Yeah.
ready to go because he just throws them when he's done with them. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, it was a good.
Yeah, he's a big live percussionist too,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
He sings, he dances. It was amazing.
Yeah, he was very entertaining.
Yeah.
The funnel cake was great too.
Oh, yeah.
Got a funnel
I
cake?
got a funnel cake.
Get out of here with the funnel. You know,
Yeah.
I had a funnel cake at the Seafood Festival of Vinoy Park a month and a half ago. And oh my God, I forgot how good funnel
This
cakes
funnel
were.
cake was okay. It wasn't the
Mine
best
wanted
I've
some
ever
caramel,
had.
but we didn't ask for caramel.
We didn't. It wasn't the best I've had, though.
I'm a classic guy. I'm a powdered sugar guy. Just take it and put some powdered sugar on it. But I think I think the only thing I didn't like about this one, so I'm used to the funnel cake where it's just you go to the fairgrounds, they drop it in there, they cook it, ring, 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 leave a little grease on it, powdered sugar in your hands.
Yeah.
What they did with this one, though, is they took it out, and I'm fairly certain, I think she brushed butter on it or something, then put the powdered sugar on it, which then kind of soggied it out a tiny bit.
Okay.
All
And then
right.
I really felt like I was just eating a sponge of oil
That's
with powdered
kind of
sugar
what
on it.
I felt.
It was a bit
this-
much.
At this one, that's the feeling I got.
And
It
anyone that
was-
knows me knows I love to eat. So, like, if I'm describing this, I'm describing it pretty accurately, as you can tell.
I like funnel cake a little soggy, but I like it well done. It has to be. It can't be like doughy still.
And now I really want a funnel cake.
Yeah, no, I'm great.
But
Yeah.
it was good. It was good. Then we had some chicken tenders. He's so good. Baycare Sounds really
did.
took care of us. It was a great night.
It was
Great
really
Saturday
great.
night.
Yeah.
And then we linked up with a lot of people I haven't seen in a while in the scene. Carrie. We saw Daniel.
Crooklyn.
So big up Crooklyn. Oh man, we haven't seen a lot of these people in a long time. So it was good to catch up with a few of them, and a great Saturday night.
Yeah. It was a good show. Good vibes.
Yeah.
For sure. Love that venue. So shout out Big Care
Yes.
Sound. That is an amazing venue.
Yes. We can't wait to give out 2 more tickets for the next house show that's coming up.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
You know, we were having a conversation with, I was just talking to some friends. This came up last week and it came up again this week. But, you know, if you are into the house scene, if you love your tech house in your house and you're loving EDM music, you need to move to St. Pete, Florida, because that's what you just need to do.
Yeah.
Everybody's doing that now. It's where the cool kids come, as I've mentioned before, across the bay, not over in Tampa, but St. Pete specifically.
Yes.
But no, we're really lucky because, you know, we've got the Ritz has always been the Ritz. We talked about that like 2 weeks ago, and you know, and they're always bringing in big names, and we're glad they're there. TK Lounge, of course, is always bringing in big bass shows and big names, but it's kind of small. But then, you know, we've got like Baycare Sound now, which has their sound and everything built in. You know, they just show up with
amazing sound.
Incredible.
By the way,
amazing sound, and they just bring in production and set up and go. And same thing at Janus. Like Janus sounds pretty good. It's a nice venue. It's a nice size venue. Fit about 1,500 people in there. Of course, everybody loves the fact that there's a tree in the middle of the courtyard area, and it just kind of gives it. I was looking around at that at the Tape B show, and I was just kind of looking around. I was just like, this is really neat. Like, I feel like I'm in the middle of a bunch of cabins in northern Midwest or something like that. And then I walk out the gate and realize I'm still in Florida. But you kind of get that feeling. If there's nothing immediately around you that would indicate, there's no palm trees or anything that would tell you Florida.
Yeah.
But then if you ever notice, everything's wood. Like the
I've never seen a show at Janus.
What?
Oh, wow.
I can fix that for you real soon.
Thank you.
Yes, but everything's very
you been there?
wood and whatnot.
I've never been inside of Janus.
Oh, wow.
Oh wow.
I've only seen it from the outside.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I thought you were a cultural person.
I am. I am. I just never
We're done.
been there.
We're done. I'm going to mute your mic. Actually, no, I'm kidding.
He's kicked off the show.
You poser.
Yes, it's no longer a viable relationship we're having here. We're going to have to change that.
No, but this weekend was eventful. OMF had their event at Zodiac in Tampa for XTN's birthday. That was awesome. They put on a great show, as always.
Do we know
top-notch performance?
Who's currently running what is Zodiac and used to be PTL and all that?
We do not know who runs.
Because I was kind of because I saw a couple videos, and it does look like there's been some things done to the inside. But I couldn't really tell because a lot of them were just people moving their cameras around really quick. So it appears to look different. But I know the sound was absolute garbage in there when it closed.
Before?
Yeah, it was.
I heard it was new management took it over.
Yeah.
It keeps rotating management or something like that. I don't
know. See, that's it. I think that's what the problem they're running into. I mean, they're in a great spot there, as it was always discussed before when they were open.
It's right next to the Ritz, right?
Yeah, when they were open as PTL, everybody's like, it's an easy solution.
Yeah.
When the Ritz is doing bass, you do house. When the Ritz is doing house, you do bass.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an easy win-win there. But I think there was a combination of too high of prices and then when we had a group of our friends there that were running it previously, it had pretty good sound. There were some other issues and things I think that fell across though that really wasn't making that work the way they wanted it to. Okay. But then when it was taken back over by the original team that owned it though, then they didn't put any money into it and the subs were blowing.
Yeah.
I did an event there with Sakali. We brought in shoot, I forgot his name. We brought in
Anthony Atala. Huh?
Yeah, Anthony Atala.
Yep, I remember.
And we started doing the sound check, and the sound was trash. I mean, it was absolutely. We had one working sub and 3 blown ones, and
you can't do a show like that,
right? And the right line array was about 20 dB less than the left line array for some inexplicable reason that we couldn't find out, and it didn't go well. But I have to give credit to Anthony Atala, like Sakali and myself, and actually Luis Martinez was involved with us too. Sakali was really ready. He's not going to play, and I was like, you know what? He's going to be mad, but you know what? He's going to play because Anthony one is a pretty decent dude. Like I've known him for a hot minute now, and also like he's just a professional. And like when you're that good of I always thought about this. When you're that good of a DJ, does it really fucking matter necessarily how good or bad your sound is? You should still go out there and play. Because if you're a good DJ, does it matter?
Still play,
right?
Yeah, a lot of people don't.
Right. Yeah, I mean, if I'm forced to listen to your show on a JBL pill speaker, or if I'm going to listen to it on a $40,000 line array setup, I mean, but still. In the end, of course, if there's some bass missing or something like that, it may not be that great. But in the end, you're still going to spin the set you're going to spin, and it's still going to sound great. And a professional is a professional. I've told people before, you give me a hair dryer and a tambourine, and I'll give you an EDM set.
No, I agree. I think that no matter the situation, if you're a true performer and people have come to see you, sometimes it's not. Sometimes you can't help certain things you can't help, but
right.
I think you should definitely still put on the show to your best of your ability and let the house figure out the house.
I mean, besides the fact that the equipment just now I'll admit it's different. If your mixer isn't working right, or you've got CDJs that are malfunctioning, that's completely different.
Well, yeah, that's your
now
playing
you're
hood. Yeah.
You're messing with the tools.
Yeah,
that's different.
Mm-hmm.
But if it doesn't sound 100%, it's like people always go around. I don't understand the whole speaker thing, man. Like people like blah blah blah. Our show's on function 1, blah blah blah. We have a damn sound system.
Most people don't notice.
Right.
too.
Well, exactly. Our ears don't know the difference, anyways.
No.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's like DJs who scratch. The only DJs that give a shit if you scratch are the other 10 DJs in the crowd that scratch. That's
Exactly.
Who know you how to. Who
Yeah, yeah.
know if you're doing-
Exactly. No, and so it's just like with the speaker system. If you're going to have function 1, I don't give a fuck. If you're going to put $10 more on my ticket for function 1, I'd rather you go get a bunch of EVs and charge me $10 less on the ticket. Because guess what? I'm not going to be able to tell the difference between an EV. And then there's going to be people, oh no, you'll know the difference. I'm like, no, you fuck, you will know the difference. Like, especially if it's outdoors too, forget about it.
Outdoors is a different story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
If it's indoors, you might be able to be like, oh, I don't know, maybe there's a little bit more. But if you're outdoors, you'll
who does
yeah.
it right when they're outdoors? Dirty Bird.
Yeah,
They fucking do it
Shout
right.
out Dirty Bird. Can't wait.
Camping, yeah, that's gonna be badass. I can't wait for that. So let's get into some of the topics for today. Yeah,
Okay.
we did a little recap
All right.
on the weekend. I'm sure we missed your events, guys. If we missed your events,
You can always call in. Let us know.
Yes.
Shoot us a message if you want us to talk about something.
Yes, we will get your event on here as soon as possible.
Yeah.
But some of the topics we want to talk about today are the scene saturation.
All of it.
The evolution of
That's a good way to put it. The evolution of the scene.
the evolution of where the scene's going and like what are you doing in the scene? Like where's your
No.
end goal?
You said that wrong. What are you doing in the scene?
Yes.
Yes.
What?
Not what are you
Are you
doing in
doing?
the scene today, but
Yes, what?
are you doing in the scene?
What are you doing in the scene today? Because there's a lot of just spinning in circles going on.
Yes,
Big
that's a really good way to
circles.
describe it.
Yeah.
And
Nothing new. Just the
no,
same.
it's always been like this. We're this scene is umpteen years and going plus, and I'm sure other DJs that have been in the scene longer than us have dealt with this and are still, of course, dealing with it.
Yeah.
But there needs to be discussion about it, I think. And, the scene needs innovators. The scene
Yes.
needs people who are going to elevate it and care about it, and not just in it for that one A word that everybody follows, and that's attention.
Yeah.
So we had a brief conversation about this earlier today, and
I think a lot of people in the scene right now are frustrated.
yeah, oh yeah, and I mean it's just hard to throw quality events when there's so many other events going on, and like, what's the reason why you're having this event? Should be the question on why these events are happening. And I don't know if that question is being asked. And if it is, please tell me. I'd love to know, like, okay, I'm an up-and-comer DJ, and I want to, do this and do that. And let's know, but just doing it and pulling together, nothingness just saturates
to
the
do it.
scene.
Yeah.
And it draws.
sucks the joy out of it, honestly, for me, in my opinion. It makes me
It's a hard topic.
Yeah.
It's a hard topic to talk about because we're not necessarily hating on the scene. We love the scene. We absolutely love it. We've been pushing and trying to elevate this scene for years now, and everything we do is for a reason. We're throwing an event to promote producers. We're throwing an event to promote producers, record labels that's coming out, music that's coming, something that's being signed. Like, there's a reason, there's a purpose behind everything. House for the Holidays was to get the EDM community together through a holiday event that's to another level. It's somewhere it's never been done before. And, that's sort of the things, that's the reasons why we do what we do. And I would love to have anybody who's throwing events right now call in and give their purpose if they feel like it. This would be a great platform for them
This
to,
would be, yep.
say, hey, this is, we're doing this show here and this is the reason why we're doing it. But, there's just a certain amount where there's a certain number of events that just,
Well, let's double back on that. So
Sure.
what we're talking about. So you mentioned A, for attention. Yes, there are a lot of people that are just doing this because they all, even at the professional level, like a John Summit and Hugo and all those guys and stuff like that. Sure, a lot of them are very talented artists and or producers, but there's still also a lot of them that just get in it for the attention. And we clearly in our scene know a lot of DJs in this scene that are 110% doing this for attention. They're downloading their music from the same place.
Sure.
They're making no effort to play a curated lineup. They can't read a room. They're playing what they think everyone wants to hear them play, by the way.
Yes.
And by the way, that's a dead giveaway. If you've got somebody that comes and is playing a show, or you go to their event on a weekly basis, and every week they're playing the same music, or you notice that their music really doesn't have any dynamic to it.
Right.
I mean, that's a typically big dead giveaway that you know that they're doing this for attention, because all they're doing is providing music and hoping that you look at them.
Yeah.
You know what I said? This is probably going to get me in trouble, but I said yesterday to somebody because I didn't realize I was booked, and I didn't realize I was booked at Saigon. It just and I showed up with the same stuff I always show up: my DJ booth, which unfolds, my decks, and my monitor, and then I have 3 power cables and another cable. I don't show up with decorations. I don't show up with extra lights. I brought an extra sub for my birthday just for fun, but because I don't need all that, and I'm not going to bring all that because my job is to provide music, to set an atmosphere, and provide something there for people to come and play. And I do this for the music, and I do love the music, and I do love the community, and that's why I do it. Now you come to me and say, "Hey, we want to do an event, and we want it to be like it's in space and all that." Well, sure, then I'll go blow up, space guys, and we'll do the room in blue and light and all that other stuff. That's the thing. But when you're just there to create the right vibe and set the right environment, if you're good at what you do and you know what you're doing, and there's a lot of people in the scene that do, and there's a lot of people in the scene that don't, but then you show up, you can pull out your decks, again, hair dryer and a tambourine, and you can get EDM music and set the right vibe. And that's just what it is. And you can tell there are a lot of people that try way too hard. Yeah. And it's just like, no. And then there's a lot of people, as we've mentioned. So those who aren't doing it for the attention, well, what is your end game?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What's the purpose?
What are you doing? Where's this going? Is this a business venture? Is this is it a hobby? In that case, if it's a hobby, you do realize you're stepping on people's toes who are actually doing this for a living and trying to put food in their kids' mouths and stuff like that.
Yeah, man. That was a big, for me, that was a big thing, before was it's hard out. It's already hard enough, So I just say that if you're going to do it at a level that's so high and so innovative that it's worth it, and it's worth the scene. You know what I mean? Because that way it's a great thing. It's a great feeling. You're contributing to the scene, and you're elevating it. But to just be doing it for nothing and the same thing that people have seen for...
I think this poses a great question, though, like what I just said.
Sure.
For so many people in our scene, for so many people in scenes around the country, though, if you started DJing the last couple years, last 12 months, 18 months, 24 months, and that, sit down and remind yourself or try to determine, where am I going with this? What's my end game?
Yeah.
Why am I doing this? Why? Am I doing this because I'm bored on a Saturday night? Am I doing this because I actually plan on becoming a musical producer? Am I doing this because I want to be a professional DJ? Or am I doing this because I, again, just want the attention and all that kind of stuff? In other words, but I said it on the show last week, and I'll say it again. If you've been doing events and you've got 20 people still showing up to your events and you've been doing them for 12 or 18 months, get the fuck out of our lane, because we're not in that lane and you're in the wrong lane, and you need to move your slow ass over, because in Florida you don't drive slow in the fast lane.
You do not. You get honked at real quick.
And that's what and that's what people need to do. And you know what? If your events keep producing 20 people and stuff, well, you're obviously doing something wrong and you're not doing something right.
Yeah.
Which means maybe after 12, 18 months, 2 years, you probably should stop what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, that's the honest truth.
I mean,
that's the honest truth with business in general.
Yes.
And although it's
And it doesn't
it's kind of intertwining business and the scene together, but you have to think about it like it is a business too. It's a commerce. It's a living organism, and living organisms have cancers in them, and cancers must be taken out.
But and you know what? By the way, it doesn't make me an asshole for saying this just because I'm part of the scene. This is business. This is business 101. Most people don't know how to do business. Most people don't know how to do marketing. Most people don't know. Most people, as I've always said a million times before, just pop out of bed one morning and go, "I'm an events manager. I'm going to do events." Hey,
yeah, and it's hard out here. It's hard out here for a pimp, you know. So
yeah, exactly. and it's just like, why? But why, are you going to work with anybody? You're going to have somebody kind of show you? No, I can do it.
Yeah.
So you've ran events before?
Yeah.
No. So you've worked with bars and clubs before? No. So you know how to book DJs and artists? No.
Yeah.
But you're going to do events? Yeah.
Yeah. It's a wild west out here, man. It's wild.
Yeah, I'm just going to do it, man. Yeah.
No, I just, listen, I love the scene, and I 100% am loving the fact that there are so many more EDM heads that are popping out of the woodworks in St. Petersburg and Tampa Bay area. And Tampa too. Tampa is really pushing for a house music scene there. So keep going, guys. The ones that are really, really throwing it, putting your all into these events, making sure that they are top-notch quality events, and in a space for the community to enjoy themselves. Congratulations to you. Keep it up. I'm sure you don't need to hear from us, but if you want to hear from us, we're here. We love to give you guys the praise. Dude, that was a great topic. I mean, we could go on about this all day, but
this is totally a Maury Povich kind of like multi-part 1 week event where we're on every day at 1 and everybody crowds around for part 2 of the session.
Yeah,
but just real quick before we wrap up, just real quick though, keep in mind, people that know me personally know that I'm tactfully blunt, but you're always going to get an honest answer from me, and I'm going to hopefully shape it correctly and not try to sound like a total asshole when I give you the honest answer. But also, if you were listening to me saying it and saying what I'm doing, I know what I'm talking about, and I'm not meaning it to be mean. I'm not saying it because I think you're untalented. I'm not saying it because I dislike you or anything like that. That doesn't fall into the package. It's just simply saying, like I said before, what is your end game?
Yeah.
That's what you want to talk about. That's what you need to focus on.
Yeah.
And if you haven't established a mission statement, you're doing it wrong. Yeah. That's not how you do business. Yeah. Because guess what? This is a business, folks.
Yep.
This is a business. There are people feeding their families and their kids.
Yes, sir.
And
amen to that.
Yes.
And so there's one thing that we've never done, and we've never put our mission statement up. But we do have one, and I'd like to read it for you all now.
Go right ahead, sir.
Just to get it out there. So Humble House Records is a record label dedicated to hosting events that celebrate and support electronic music producers worldwide. Our mission is to foster a global community of like-minded individuals by creating opportunities for collaboration and sharing of unique sounds. Through our travels, we aim to connect diverse talents and inspire creativity in a welcoming and inclusive environment. Join us as we unite in love of music and strive to make a positive impact on the electronic music scene. And that is something that we strive for in every event. That's why we do this podcast. This is why we have on people who are not just friends of our immediate center. We have on people who are actually doing things for the scene, and who want to contribute to the scene in a helpful manner. So that's Humble House Records.
Nice,
goal. We want to bring this community together,
and that's what I'm saying. Everybody should have that. Even now, if you started like 3 months ago, maybe you're not that far yet. But if you've been doing this for 12 months, you should have some sort of end game or some sort of mission statement that describes exactly what it is, what you're trying to accomplish. And if the only thing you can come up with is, oh, it's fun, or I get attention, then you're in the wrong lane. You
Yeah.
got it. You're in the wrong lane. You're not going to last. And that's not me being mean, but I'm just saying, because people who have mission statements, people who have goals of what they're going to accomplish in the scene, and that will come just driving right over you.
Yeah. Yep. Amen to that, brother. So we are going to get in for our interview with DJ Livi Baby.
Ooh, stretch that out a little bit for me.
Yeah, so just a little bit about Livi Baby. She's been, I think she graduated from a DJ school, but not only that, she produces her own music. I think she went to the Beat Academy. I'm not sure. We're going to find out. She produces her own music. She has a song called Groove. Oh, it's Groove something. I downloaded it. I know, it's crazy. It'll come. But she has been producing. She does DJ mix shows all over. She is really she has a goal. She has an end game. If it is to be a famous DJ or producer, I believe she will get there because she is doing it. You know, she's producing the music. She's selling the music. She's not just putting anything out there, nothing willy-nilly. It's a really good track. Not to say that I didn't expect it to not be a good track when I say actually, but it's really a good track. You guys should check it out. I'm trying to pull it up right now. I'm pretty sure it's Groove. Oh, here it is. Groove Directive. That's what it was, with a big heart on the face on the cover. So she produces around St. Pete area, and what are you logging into? Oh, okay. So yeah, we're gonna go into a quick commercial break after Rave Daddy Robbie signs in on this. But if it's okay, you can't. You got Spotify or something up?
Yes, I can.
You can put on Humble House stuff.
Okay, give 1 second.
Yeah, there should be a Humble House Records playlist on Spotify. If you guys haven't checked that out, you should. It is a growing playlist. I think we're up to 80 saves now. So people are listening. That's our music. That's all our music, all Humble House Records music. And also, I just want to let you guys know that please follow, like, and subscribe to Humble House Records on YouTube, where you can find all of our Houseology Live podcasts. Podcast.
Almost. I'm getting
And
this is asking the computer a lot right at the moment.
no, that's cool. This is actually good for me to figure out, get all this information out. We have a brand new website up on humblehouseradio.com. No, Humble House Records on there.
Hold on a second. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I forgot to log in.
It's Mixglim's cover art, which is our release coming at the end of the month. But we got a brand new website, guys. Please go check that out. That's where you can listen to us if you haven't checked out any of our other streams before on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. But we have a brand new website up that's going to be running. We are looking for advertisers. If you want space on our website, please let us know. Please reach out to humblehouserec@djketone.com, and we will process that for you on our radio and on the .com. But how you looking, Robbie?
You know what? I typed in Humble House Radio, and I get humble.house.
Oh, no.
I
It's
get-
Humble House Records.
Oh, Humble House Records. Oh,
Yeah.
for the love of Pete. Ay. I'm sorry. I'm coming off a pretty active weekend. My brain isn't exactly firing.
That
on all
is
cylinders right at the
okay.
moment. Oh, look at there. Humble House Records with the Mixglim picture on it. Yep.
Yes,
there we go.
there
There
it
we
is.
go. I didn't mind the guitar music personally. I was just saying.
Me either. I
you
like
know,
guitar music.
It was
but
kind of
it's
like
not ours.
yeah, I know. I know. We'll have to pay rights on that, won't we?
Yeah, we can't let too much.
But like,
of that
ooh, this is getting us going, right?
yeah, I like
Perfect
that.
way to go into a little bit of a break.
Yes, guys. So we'll be back with our guest, DJ Livi Baby, talk about all that she does inside of the scene, and we'll be right back. We'll be back.
It's the limit, got no limits. Lamborghini independent. I stay focused, she got venom left on red. I had a vision, maxing out with the stunner. Bora Bora for the summer. I'ma do what I do, watch her laugh. While I break through. It's the limit, got no limits. Lamborghini independent. I stay focused, she got venom left on red. I had left on red. I had a vision, maxing out with the stunner. Bora Bora for the summer. I'ma do what I do, watch her left. Will I break down?
And we're back.
What's up, guys? That was
everybody
Lambo by Los Padres. That was our most recent release on Humble House Records.
I'm just going to let that float around in the background here
I
for a
mean,
minute.
it's a vibe. The guys
I mean, it
really
is
went
nice.
in.
It got me kind of excited, but built my energy up as much as that Starbucks triple caramel macchiato, which I just recently found out is nothing but milk. I can't believe that didn't occur to me. It's milk and shots. I didn't.
No, thank you.
Well, that's something coming out of my birthday, not the Shanghai our segment here, but I was just saying. But I was like, if anything I'm doing, I'm going to lose weight this year and get myself into a little bit better shape.
Okay.
Right now I'm in zero shape, so anything above that is better than where I'm currently at. And but I was just thinking about. That's something, and I was watching the barista make it like a week ago, and I'm like, oh shit, that's like a half a cup of milk and like 3 shots of coffee. What am I drinking? Like, so it's good though. It still tastes good.
Yeah,
Anyways,
I got
sorry.
I got the chai latte from there.
Yeah, but
almond
chai
milk.
has a lot of
Almond milk.
calories in it too. I didn't know that.
Is it the chai or is it
No.
the milk that they put in it?
Oh, sorry, my bad. Hold on, everybody. Let me get everybody in this conversation here. Sorry about that. There we go. Now everybody's there. Yeah, there you go. We should. Yep, there you go.
Hey.
There you are.
There she is. There you guys are.
Welcome. Sorry
we have
about that.
DJ Livi Baby in the building. What's up, DJ Livi Baby?
Hey,
How you
what's up
doing?
with you guys? I'm good. I'm happy to be here.
Good. We got Volume in the room. What's up, Volume?
What's up, guys?
Nice of you ladies to join us.
Oh yeah, I'm happy Livy's here, getting to know her.
Yes, that's gonna be a fun story. So you're a DJ, you produce. I mean, tell us more. Tell us first of all, did you graduate the Beat Academy?
I did. Yes.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yes, I did. Almost 2 years ago now. So.
Oh, it's been that. Wow, it's a long time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was a great jumping off point for me and a lot of people.
Were you in the same class as Sam?
No, I think she was in the class right after me. Right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, I went to your graduation.
Yes,
and I was
yes.
like in awe.
Aw.
It was so cool, and yeah, so Beat Academy
Yeah.
graduate.
Nice. So what have you been doing since then?
So I actually have been doing a lot of DJing, and production was something I'd even started before I went to Beat Academy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So I had been really working towards getting a track out, and I did get that track out, Groove Directive. Which
Yes.
I love. That's my baby.
Great track.
Thank you.
I told it to you when he first came out. It was a great track.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
really appreciate it. Yeah, I definitely put my heart and soul into that one, and definitely plan on doing that again once I sort of get my studio back in order.
Right. You were saying you had a studio and you suffered some losses in the hurricane.
Yeah, so there was a lot of flooding in my house, and I had a whole studio set up that I'd been working on for a really long time. Had been planning on recording some vocals, so
Yeah.
I had sort of a little booth going on in there, and some stuff got damaged. Thankfully, not a lot of it, but it's still, I'm just getting back into my house, so it's still very, very all over the place. I don't even know where anything is.
Yeah.
So I've sort of taken a break from production.
That's for you getting back in your house, by the way. There you go.
Yeah.
I haven't done an inappropriately placed sound effect yet, so I wanted to get that out of the way before the show was over with.
Nice.
Celebration. Absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, I plan on getting that in order, but it's been kind of healthy, I think, for me to take this break.
Yeah.
And give myself that space.
Sure.
Get some inspiration.
Exactly.
You can get burnt out on production very easily if you're like sitting there for hours a day. Trust me, I know. I've been there. So you've taken that break from producing and you've been DJing a lot lately. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I absolutely love DJing. It's so much fun and something that like unlocked a whole new love within me when I started to DJ. I loved producing, but I knew that there was just that part missing with not knowing how to DJ back then. So since then, I've just been sort of trying to say yes to pretty much everything that comes my way.
Just getting that experience out there.
Yeah, just want to get out there, and like the more different types of venues and different types of genres that I'm asked to play, I feel like the more practice that gives me, and it keeps me confident.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that. You definitely have to stay out there to stay not only on top of the music that's happening or coming, because music's coming so fast,
Oh yeah.
but to understand the people too. You know, it takes time. I think one of the skills a lot of people don't invest in is understanding how to read a crowd, or what it is that what you're trying to do to the people out there. A lot of people don't understand that, but it just takes time to learn. You gotta go through those times where people are standing still on your music, and you're like, what's happening here? And then you just gotta go through those ups and downs. So you're doing more like you do podcasts, not a podcast, but a mix show, right?
Radio shows, yeah. I've done a couple radio shows. One really recently with Distorted
Libby, just
Playhouse.
eat your mic just a little bit more. There you go.
Right
Thank
here?
you. Yeah,
Sorry.
perfect.
I've done a couple of radio shows. One with Distorted Playhouse most recently.
Okay.
And I do believe that actually gets released today.
Oh, nice. Distorted Playhouse.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and that was a fun, like, I would say a 30-minute kind of mix, but really, really beautiful by the water, some deep house in there.
Oh, nice.
So, I like doing that a lot. And
Where
I
did you
like
record
it? We recorded it right by sort of Demon's Landing area in St. Pete.
Okay.
So not too far from here, actually.
Yeah, like Vinoy area.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
With like the boats in the back.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a nice little area over
It
there.
is.
Yeah.
It is.
I like it when you have concerts over there and you can get in a boat and people just pull up, especially for like Reggae Rise
Yes,
Up.
I
I'm
went
a big
to
reggae
that.
fan. Yeah, I'm a big reggae fan, and
Yeah.
it's just awesome. Like one year, our friends just pulled up and we pulled up out there and we had the grill on the boats and free alcohol and food and just sat there and had perfectly could hear the music, and it's really nice.
I wanted to do that. I've wanted to take a kayak out there and watch a concert
Yes.
like that one night I didn't pay for and be like, oh, I just got out here in a kayak and I can see it. I've wanted to
Honestly,
do
yeah,
that.
that's the way to do it. Like, especially for Reggae Rise Up, I think we just saw all the people in their boats
Yeah.
having a grand old time. And we were
Yeah.
like, okay, next year. I think
Well, these are those awesome things that are afforded to us because we live in Tampa Bay,
Oh,
Florida.
good Florida
So,
stuff, man.
yeah.
good old St. Pete.
Yes.
People can
Love
talk
St.
shit
Pete.
about us as much as
No,
they
no,
want,
you
but
know.
you're not in a boat in the middle of the bay watching reggae the second week of March,
Yes, baby.
grilling hot dogs and hamburgers and drinking
Yes.
free beer.
So
All right,
true.
that's all I'm just
no
saying.
one else is doing that.
Yeah, I'm just
Only
throwing that out
Florida
there.
People.
Correct.
It
Only
really
Florida
is
people.
So true.
Right. There
True
are only
words have never been
yes,
spoken.
there are things that only the Florida man does.
I never
and
thought that was
is true.
possible, honestly, coming from New York. I never thought
Right?
I'd be.
Well, you're taught that Long Island is the
I'm
mecca
a
there.
Boston
Fire
girl,
Island.
so-
Oh,
yeah.
I know exactly what
This
you're talking
doesn't
about.
happen there.
No, not for
I don't
my
even think
birthday.
in the middle of July you
March.
can get into Boston Harbor on a boat, and it's freezing, isn't it? Still, it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
70
yeah,
degrees.
the
Yeah.
water. You don't want to go.
You don't
want
want to
to
go.
Yeah.
in the water.
I don't do
yeah.
cold. I don't do cold. I'm warm now.
Come out
I'm
with
done.
like bacteria over your body too.
Wow.
Yeah, good old Boston.
It's Boston.
Water.
Jeez. Well, you can tell she's from New York, can't you?
So you're
That
from
little
Boston,
immigrant.
yeah?
I am. Well, okay, before people come for me, though. Not Boston proper.
You're from Boston, eh?
Not Boston proper. South of Boston.
Now, let's everybody be nice. Let's
South
not
of
go
Boston.
array in the chat
Yeah,
or anything
yeah.
like that.
I grew up south of Boston, and I
Wait, South Boston?
South
or?
of Boston.
Oh, so you're not a Southie.
Not
no.
Southie. I am Irish, but I didn't grow up in Southie.
You're not, and that's not from New Bedford, are you? Or anything
Not
like
from New Bedford.
Okay, just checking.
No. South Shore, kind of near the Cape, honestly.
Oh, okay, yeah. I know where you're from. Yep.
Yeah. And but definitely spent a lot of time in Boston, and
Oh, there it was. I just heard it.
Yeah, I did too.
Boston.
I heard it. I heard it.
Boston.
How long have you been here?
So I've been in Florida since the end of lockdown, or actually since lockdown started.
Oh, you had to get away from Boston in the lockdown.
That's when I came
Yeah,
here too.
that's what I
We've been here
sense.
for like the same amount of time.
Yeah. And what's crazy is I've lived in a lot of places. I've lived in Denver, I lived in Chicago, and Chicago was actually where I moved from.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Denver's always funny. I've
Yeah.
had so many friends that are here from Florida, Orlando, Tampa Bay area, and all that, and they're so anxious to run off to Denver. And I'm
Yes,
like,
yes.
have you talked to people that have lived in Denver? And I'm not talking shit about Denver. There's nothing wrong with Denver, but once you get
yeah.
there. If you've been in Florida for a while, or you're used to water,
Yeah.
or you're used to being warm, or you're just like, and that everybody goes running off for the
weed.
the weed,
They want
yeah,
the weed, baby.
and then
I
they
know.
get there, and then there's traffic, and then there's the taxes, and then they're like, "What's
Yep.
these state taxes? I don't know what these are," and
Yeah.
and all this kind of stuff, and suddenly they're just like, "Whoa, I'm getting like half of my paycheck here in Denver."
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, Denver definitely comes with a lot of things.
Yes.
And it's sort
lot
of
of baggage.
like
Hot springs of weed.
Yeah.
All
it's
he
like
heard was
luxury-
weed, and he wants to go.
luxury sort of like organic lifestyle for sure, and it's been that way, but it's gotten a lot more popular for that. And the thing is, though, it's sort of like, I mean, not to bring like a whole other thing, but it's sort of like how people talk about Burning Man when they've never been, and they're like, oh, it's just this,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just this thing of a bunch of rich
Bunch of
people in
yeah.
the desert. And it's like, yeah, sure, yeah, it is. But like Denver too, like it's also gorgeous and
Oh, yeah.
beautiful.
Yes.
And
Oh,
if you
yeah.
like hiking, if you like, skiing,
If you're a mountain
snowboarding,
person.
yeah, exactly.
Yes, and I like visiting mountain scenes, but I don't want to live
Right.
near the mountains, and I don't want to live anywhere it's cold anymore. My blood has thinned out to like water at this point in time, and the only thing that keeps me warm is warm water. So
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I'm with you there. I like to visit now. I like to just
How
go
long
and
did you
visit.
live in Denver?
7 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I did a little bit in Boulder and then the rest in Denver.
Oh.
And I will say, I mean, yeah, like Red Rocks.
So you were in the music scene when
I was
you
just
were
about ready to
there?
ask that.
Oh,
Good-
definitely.
Yeah.
How is the music scene there?
I feel like I sort of came up like in the music scene
Oh,
there.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's always been amazing, honestly, in Denver. Like there's a little something for everyone, and so many artists come through Denver and Boulder and Telluride, Breckenridge, all those
Yeah.
mountain towns. So, and that's every different type of music, but like being able to go to Red Rocks so many times, like I can't even count how many times that I've been to
Wow.
Red Rocks.
Wow, I've never been.
That's
And
amazing.
it's
I've only
so
been during a
cool.
day. I've
Yeah,
never seen a show there.
And even Red Rocks during the day is
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. I'm a rock guy, so I like the rocks. I like my sediment. Okay. So,
Yep. There's
So
a
it's
lot of
nice.
those.
Yeah.
A lot of those.
I've
Yes.
always appreciated the Southwest part of the U.S. too. Like there is, I'm just saying though, it's
too.
really cool. It's something again here in the United States. I don't think people sometimes take into consideration. You can go to 4 different corners of this country and get 4 completely different ecosystems.
Yeah.
You've got Florida in the tropics. You've got North New England, which is that colder, in the cold waters. But you go over here in the Northwest, it doesn't get a lot of snow. It gets a ton of rain, and then it can have if you like dreary days, and there's people that like dreary days. And then you go all down here in the Southwest, and it's these
And it's
beautiful
just-
rocks and
yeah.
formations and the
Right.
tumbleweed from all the shows that your parents watch and westerns and stuff like that.
yeah.
It's magical.
Yeah, it really is.
So you came from Chicago to Florida.
Yeah.
Which I don't blame you, but Chicago's dope. Chicago's
how
dope.
long-
No, I like
Yeah.
Chicago.
Chicago's dope, but
2 years.
still.
Okay. So you
But-
went from Denver to Chicago.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Did
And
you
how
do
was
any
the
music things
scene there?
in Chicago?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, house music. Everybody listens to house music in Chicago, and that was
Yep.
that's like the first time I've ever been somewhere where house music was sort of like the norm, and like you take 5 people, like 4 out of the 5 are probably going to listen to house.
Yep.
Wow.
And like you get in a cab, like the first cab I got in after moving there off the plane, they were listening to like Frankie Knuckles, and I was like, I have arrived. Like,
Yep.
It is here.
yeah, like it was just so amazing. Like coming from a place like Denver, it's so big and diverse, and it's a completely different area. There's all kinds of different influences there, but then you have Chicago, and Chicago is like a whole mecca in itself of
Chicago's still
different-
city. I think with Chicago, like that's how I feel about it. When you go to, it
big
feels
city.
big city, you know.
It's huge.
Yeah, feels like New York City.
Gotham.
Feels a little bit like
Gotham.
Boston, and it does.
I
yeah.
want to
like
go. I
Gotham.
really want to go. I want to see it.
It's badass. Like honestly, like in the rainy season, those rainy nights with the lights and the that skyline is sick.
There's a DoubleTree in Chicago, and I forget which DoubleTree it is, but you go all the way upstairs, and the entire roof retracts.
Yes,
and
I
it's
know what you're talking about.
It's a club. I've stayed at that hotel multiple times, and during what was the big festival that was there? The summer festival.
Lollapalooza.
What's a lot?
Lala.
Is it movement?
No, there was
Movement's
one something
Detroit.
about spring or summer something that they had. It's not. They don't have it anymore.
Is it?
it was Summerfest or something like that.
It was something like
think
that.
something
Yeah.
like something like
Something in the
that.
park, house music all day.
Well, they do that every year. That's Millennium Park. They always will
Okay.
have that, which thank God I
So
love that.
they actually did an event at that hotel that weekend for one of the afters, and Coco Drills was upstairs.
Oh, nice.
And I ended up going up there, and I just bribed the girl at the door. I said, "I'm staying at the hotel. Here's $40. Can I get in?" And she's like, "Sure. Have a great time." I'm like, "Fantastic. Thank you."
Amazing.
And it was
Love
like
that.
an invite-only party or something too. So,
Sweet.
Love that.
40,
Yeah.
50, $100 gets you anything you want. Just remember that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep a solid $20 bill in my pocket.
Honestly, yeah, like you do got to keep some cash on you
Yeah.
in Chicago, that's for sure.
All right. So you came down to Florida. You started DJing. You had been producing before that, yeah? You said.
Yes.
What kind of music were you producing then?
So same type of thing. I mean, I've been sort of focusing my production now and my genres in my collection to deep house and minimal house.
Okay.
But that's also sort of encompassing like deep minimal tech house
Okay.
as well. You know, like
Yeah.
really getting that hard hitting stuff and that fast stuff, but in sort of those more like hypnotic vibes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Love all that.
Yeah.
Groove Directive. Yeah, I love all of that. Groove Directive. To me, it feels techie.
Yes. Yeah. And
It-
and what's so funny is actually it was other people that had to tell me that it was minimal tech house.
Okay.
And like that people have told me, "Oh, you really like minimal tech house."
Yeah.
It's like all you play, not all you play, but it's like a lot of what you play in your sets is like geared towards minimal house and minimal tech house.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know that because to me there was nothing minimal about it, you know, like it was so full and there was so much going on. But I've come to realize that I really love that genre.
Nice.
Minimal.
Who are some of your biggest like inspirations now these days?
Ooh, that's always a tough one for me because I have a terrible time recalling people's names.
I know I'm more of a
It's
vibe.
classic,
Like I
yeah.
get that when I hear like certain music. I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure I know who it is.
Yes.
Their name, I probably can't pronounce it.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, so I have so many artists that I'm always like adding to my collection, and that goes for deep house, minimal, tech house, drum and bass. I mean, like I play a lot of genres, but minimal house I've been really loving. Damascus and Angel Heredia actually is really, really good tech house. Frankie Rizzardo is definitely a big favorite right now for
he's
me.
top,
Yeah,
for sure.
his stuff just really hits for me right now.
Yeah, he nailed it with the "Ain't Nobody" for me. He really that was probably my favorite track
And
by
there's
him.
so many remixes of that song.
And his
and
is-
for him
That
to
one
come
is
through,
just-
yeah.
Played that last night.
yeah,
Over and over.
Yeah.
it's top for
Yeah.
sure. So, tell us the future of Livi Baby. Where is she going? What's her end game?
Well, so my goal absolutely is to, yes, become well known and popular, but on my own terms.
Sure.
I always am going to be true to myself when it comes to, I guess, like the ways that I'm going to promote myself and the gigs that I choose to take and things like that. Like I want it to be very organic. I want whoever is a fan of me to just sort of organically happen.
Okay.
I'm very much into sort of giving people the vibe and then like seeing what sticks. I'm
Sure.
like, is that your vibe? Cool. You know, come along, keep listening.
Yeah.
Like I'm happy to bring you, I'm happy to experience dance with you, and I'm happy to make you dance. and
Okay.
take you on a journey.
Okay. Do you think that in order to be successful, you have to pick one genre?
No, I've definitely been told that
Yeah.
by many people who, their intentions are very good. Obviously, they want me to do well. But what I think the real advice is to choose a few
Sure.
and focus on those. And then for the times where you want to go off the beaten path, know your audience and
Yeah.
and do it
I agree.
at the right place.
Yeah, last week when we had our first Techno Tuesday event, though, and I played there, my actual main genre is techno.
Yeah.
And I always joke and tell people it's my spirit animal, but that's because that's how well I know that genre. And when I played that set 2 weeks ago, I was in it in my head, and it's not just because I know the tracks or I've heard techno.
Yeah.
And a lot of people in this scene play techno and they think they can play techno because they can play house. And I'm like, that's not how that works. And I told him, I said, you know what? When I look at this waveform down there, I know exactly how that song's going to sound. When this song starts doing this, I know exactly where the artist is going with that because I listen to this music all the time.
Right.
And I know that this track's going to sound good with that track because of this reason and so on and so
Yeah.
forth. It's your surgical kind of knowledge and analysis of those genres that make it what makes you good.
Yeah.
And there's people that can be jack of all trades, and that's great. Play techno, play house, play dub, play whatever you want. But I promise you'll never be amazing at any of them.
Right.
And that'll always keep getting you booked at a non-amazing level.
Yeah.
But if you pick one or two genres and you actually study them, when people get in my truck and they make fun of me, it's like, bro, you're always playing house music. I'm like, because that's what I do.
Right.
Yes.
This is what I do.
Yes.
This
Yep.
is my other
Yes.
job of my other two
Studying.
jobs. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
This is-
This
I'm
is how I
working.
find on the weekends when I'm listening to Diplo's Revolution and they're playing the custom mixes like the Ocho Kids and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. This is where I find my new tracks.
Yeah.
These are where I find the unusual ones that I don't
Yeah.
get off of Spotify and so
Yeah.
on and so
Yeah.
forth.
Yeah.
But I do this because that's how
That's
I want to be
DJing,
when I
baby.
DJ. Yes, that's what I want to do.
DJing, baby.
And I just think that people when people are like, oh, you don't have to pick a genre. And I'm not saying you said that. Don't take that way. That's not what I meant. But there are a lot of people. They're like, oh, you don't need. Anybody can play anything. No.
Right.
And you're not
Anyone
gonna
can play anything. I
Yeah.
can put fucking Frank Sinatra on,
Yeah.
but that doesn't make me a great DJ. You know?
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not only
like,
that,
have
but
a focus.
happy. Yeah. Oh, focus too. It's just happiness.
Yeah.
Even when I'm not, if I'm booked for a show that I am not, that I have to play outside of what makes me happy to play, I'm just not in it.
Oh yeah,
I
me
know
too. Me too. I mean, I've had some shows where I was asked to play a genre that was sort of outside my comfort zone.
Yeah.
Not that it was something that I didn't like. It was just something that didn't excite me to
Yeah.
play. And I did actually end up coming across sort of like a gold mine of an artist that sort of opened things up for me in that genre. And it made sense because it was closer. It was that genre, but it was closer to the genres I love.
Okay. More deeper. You like deep. Yeah.
Also fast. Like I really
Okay.
like it to be fast. Like even progressive is really what I'm talking about here. Like just to get to brass tacks.
I love that. Give me some.
Oh yeah. So it's like I found the right artist and it opened things up for me and then I had fun.
Sure.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. So that's cool. It's good to hear. I know you said that you're getting back into your studio.
Yes.
We're wishing you the best on that. If there's anything we could do to help you, just let us know.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Of course.
So can we expect some music coming soon from Livi Baby?
Yes, I will say I'm gonna need some time for sure.
Yeah.
But it is the thing that I think about every day when I wake up and when I go to sleep. So I think having this break is gonna be really amazing for when I get back in there because I'll have a new sort of clarity towards what I'm doing and a new focus. So absolutely, you can expect.
Are you building
Thanks.
back your studio?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So right now, obviously, things are still in the very early days of moving back into a house. So
I know you
still
said you just got your doorknob.
just got my doorknobs kind of thing. Yeah. So
The little things that you
the
don't
little
even
things.
think. Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, I'm gathering everything that I need, and it's all gonna happen when I'm ready. It's gonna happen in like a day. I'm sure I'm gonna like just go crazy and get it all set up, and then I'll just be a hermit.
All right. That's how it goes. Just to let you know, we do have access to a studio in St. Petersburg, Florida. So if anytime in between you getting your studio
You have an itch.
set up
Yeah.
and you need
Yeah.
you need a place to record, you just holler at us.
Amazing.
Sound Source Studios. We appreciate you guys. Are one of the sponsors of everything that we do.
Shout out Sound Source
so-
Studios.
out.
Sound Source Studios. So in case you ever need a studio, just holler at us.
Awesome. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. We'll
Yeah.
keep it relatively low. And free for Humble House. Anything Humble House submitted, we got you.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is there any last messages you would like to give to your audience?
I would say that if you are interested, then definitely check me out. My Instagram is Livi Baby on SoundCloud, and I have some upcoming gigs. And
tell us about them.
Some updates. So on Friday, I'm playing at Heights Lounge in
Okay.
Tampa.
Okay.
It's going to be an all-female lineup. Really
Love that.
exciting. Yeah. And on the 23rd, I have a techno show. I'm excited.
Wait, so
Yes,
do we.
right.
We're playing
We're
with
all
you.
You guys
together.
are playing with me. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Yes.
Warehouse.
We're
Oh
all
my
playing on the
gosh.
same night. It's going to be so much fun.
Yes, what time is your set?
So I'm with Lane, I believe 11 or 10 to 12 or
Okay.
10 to 11. I'm not 100% sure, but I
Okay.
will be.
Pretty sure we're on at 3:30.
Oh,
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
we're late.
spicy.
We're late.
Very spicy.
We're a fast, deep couple ourselves.
I love it. Yeah, fast and deep. Yeah.
Every time you say that, I just
Fast and deep.
No,
But
but
yeah.
No, we're gonna.
Cool.
I
tear
get
it
that.
up.
Yeah,
I can't
I'm so-
wait.
It's gonna
actually,
be so
Lane's a
exciting.
good
Lane
pair
is-
with you. If you like
love
faster,
Lane,
minimal,
yeah.
deep tech stuff.
She's super talented, and she's definitely got an ear, and like our collections for minimal, even just tech house too, like
Yeah.
go together so well.
Yeah, I
That
believe
should be
so.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd
I'm
be cool.
excited for the night.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be there all
too.
night. We can
Yeah.
either check it out and hang out and see
It's gonna be
everybody
awesome.
play. Yeah, I'm excited
Yeah.
for that. And Katie's amazing. She's
Oh
so
yeah.
cool.
Love
Yeah.
her.
Yeah, so supportive of the scene, and I'm happy for her.
And the warehouse is going to be a great
And it's her
venue
birthday.
for that.
Yes,
Yeah.
To celebrate.
I know.
All right, so before we go, one more time, let the people know where they can find you.
Yes, definitely. Instagram, Livi Baby. It's spelled livy.b.a.b.y.
How you spell Livy? No Y, right?
No Y, just Livi. Livi Baby.
I have to explain that all the time. It's Robbie with a Y, Daddy with a Y.
Yeah, and Spotify, I also have my one release track on there, Groove Directive. So
Yes.
you can look up Livi Baby on Spotify and Livi Baby one word on SoundCloud to find a bunch of mixes.
Okay,
Oh,
awesome.
I'm sorry about that. I forgot I had to fade her up. I didn't mean
Oh,
to
we're
pop
just
in
ready
like
to
that.
party.
No, we would play your track here, but we can't. We get copywritten.
Totally fine. I'm like, even if I say it's okay.
Yeah, no, they'll be like,
Yeah,
nah.
they'll play
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
They'll be like, nah, they don't play.
It's okay. Go listen to it, guys.
Yes, go
Yes.
check out Groove
Yes,
Directive.
yeah.
You guys heard it first here with DJ Livi Baby. She also produces. She's elevating herself in the scene. She's doing great things. Look out for future productions. Livi Baby. And we'll see you guys after this commercial break where we get into our upcoming segment about future things in the scene. We'll see you guys in a minute.
He's out.
Thank you. Bye.
Absolutely.
So, one of my Humble House favorites, Salvatore.
For me.
Watch it. I don't want to hear anything.
Yes,
We love you,
AM.
Salvador.
He's got some. We got some heat. We saving for Salvador. He's been producing. He's been working. So we're just getting that marketing up. But
We back.
we back, baby.
What's up?
That was a great interview. Yeah,
Love
did go
Livy.
well.
yeah. She's got a
love
lot of
her.
stuff coming up.
She's so down to earth, so cool.
Yeah.
She's one of my faves.
Yeah, she's the homies.
Yeah.
I like it when we have guests or our interviews, we do like that, and they're a little bit more organic and flowing and stuff, and we kind of get a
Yes.
couple different topics in there, and it's just not all either music or
We get to know them.
yes, correct.
Yeah.
That was
I
the whole
love that.
purpose.
Yeah.
Get their
Because
artistry
everyone
out there.
is a person at the end of the day. We all are here for the same goal. But, we got to get to know them as people.
Yes. So make sure you guys go check out DJ Livi Baby everywhere, and her content.
God, now I want Indian food. I'm totally getting that tonight. I'm gonna get it from the place around the corner from my house. That's totally what I'm doing.
It was good. You did great, babe.
Backstory, everyone. So we have been doing competition meals pretty much every day at the house.
Yes.
One of us will cook and then we'll rate it. So last night, I made Indian food and I got a 7.5.
8.
out of,
7.8 out of 10.
but that's still not bad though. I mean, that's
I mean, I
80%.
put a lot of effort into it. I should have at least got an 8.
And so you're trying to say you're underappreciated, is what you're getting at.
I just don't understand where his score is coming from.
I explained my score. I don't know if we would need to go through it right here, but I explained my score, man.
But anyway, it's
Listen,
a really
if you come eat at
fun
my house
way.
and it's anything less than a 10, you don't have to eat at my house. That's how I feel about it.
Anyway, if anyone's looking for a fun thing to do to spice up your dinner nights, this is really fun.
It is fun. My
It
kids are
is.
even doing it.
They're cooking tonight for
dinner
us,
and they're
so we're
cooking.
gonna get to go home and judge it.
My good friend Bo and past roommate has a 12-year-old son, and the last year when he started visiting for the summer, and that I started making him cook and started showing him, and we started basic things like what is the Velveeta skillets, like it's the ultimate cheeseburger skillet or something, which I highly recommend. It's so fucking good. But it's super cheesy, and then I usually add a little cayenne pepper in there to give it a little bit of flavor. But that's where I started him on, and we were starting to teach him some other things too.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I love having my kids cook and teaching them how to cook. Just prepping them for the world.
Yes.
So more things. EDM.
What's going on this week?
Yeah, up and
You're not at
coming.
Saigon this week, right? So it's going to
Correct.
be Gio and Leo.
Gio and Leo.
Gio and Leo.
Yeah, Glio.
Glio.
They should make a duo named Leo.
Glio Leon.
Just like Samanthony.
My cousins call us that.
Oh, see,
Samantha.
well, I
They
mean,
do.
so I wasn't the only one. See,
No.
you can't be mad at me.
They do.
No, it's cool. So that's Thursday night. I don't really know what else is coming up.
Sorry, guys.
Nobody's
Been so
keeping us
busy.
up to date, man.
I'm
You guys
trying
should
to-
be sending this in to us. Letting
This
us know
weekend
what's
isn't
happening.
Katie's party. Her party's next weekend, so we'll talk about that next week.
Yes, it
But
is.
it is next weekend, so that's fun.
I do have Piers Sunday with a guest. The guest is. Oh shoot!
There's a privy event this weekend, if I recall correctly.
At the rooftop?
I don't remember.
Oh, Tampa Tampa something. Maybe it's Pez's birthday.
Aw.
Oh,
We
well,
gotta
that'll
go,
be fun.
We got to go stop by Park and Rec and see Pez.
Yeah, I think he said he was going to celebrate his birthday Friday or whatever at Park and Rec or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, we might have to go by there and just,
Yeah. We don't have plans this
shove him,
weekend.
shove him
Hey,
off the
listen,
decks, do a little
people.
open format. No, I'm kidding.
Let us know about your events. We don't have plans this weekend. If you want
Yeah,
us
we'd love
to
to come get some content for you guys.
Yeah.
Share the word. That's what we're about. That's what we do. We share the word. If you got something that you're doing in the scene, you should reach out to us.
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah.
2 heads right here.
3 heads.
Maybe 3 if Robbie's down.
Oh, yes. I'll totally come by. Yeah, I already told him I would. I told him that if he ended up doing any dinner plans to let me know if we were going to do anything like that. I went to K-Pot, actually, which is a franchise place over. Oh, yeah, both of you. I can see it on your face. So we went there last night, Bo and I, and
We love it there.
he was taking me out for my birthday dinner. Yeah, and we ate our weight in crab legs and that, and got some. I have to admit, it was pretty good. It was my first time there. You know, we there's normally another
Really?
You know, the hot
Nine
pot place we
spices.
used to go. Yeah,
Yeah.
and but
K-pop
Yeah.
blows it out of the water.
unfortunately,
does.
yeah,
Blows it.
I hate to say
I
that.
love the iPad ordering. I'm just like,
Yes, that is so cool.
It's-
An iPad for every table, and then you just fill out what you want, and then
And it comes
submit
in
it and bring it.
0.2
Yep.
seconds.
It's great. Like
I know.
a lot of the food was good there. Yeah, the boil pot broths were really good, and of course the crab legs are good. But I was eating a little bit. I did some of the crawfish too. I haven't had good crawfish.
Oh, I love
in a
crawfish.
while.
Oh, he
Yeah.
eats. When he's there, there's no crawfish left.
Yeah. Oh well, I mean, crawfish are good. I mean, you got to. I mean, it's a little bit of work, but they're good. You got to be careful too, because crawfish can taste like swamp water. So you got to, like, that's how you can tell the difference between wild caught and grown. Farm raised definitely have a lot less swamp water tasty to it, but you will definitely know if you've got natural
Oh, yeah.
caught crayfish for 100%.
Oh, yeah.
I used to. There's a place here called Shells. That's a seafood place, and a long time ago they expanded and franchised up and down the I-75 corridor. And I actually worked at one. I was a server there, and they had a crawfish pasta, and it was delicious. But they were wild caught crawfish, and
I've never had Shells.
little swampy water. Well, you know, in my opinion, Shells is still one of the. I'm giving them free advertising now, but Shells is one of the best seafood pasta places in the Bay Area, and I'm sure there are people who challenge me on that.
Huh.
But the guy that started it
Yeah.
was a French chef or something like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, he was a classically trained chef, is what I'm getting at.
Okay.
And he did this great idea where he took his started with a thing called the scampi base, and what they use for their shrimp scampi and other stuff.
Okay.
And then would just add a red sauce or add cream, and then add a couple other ingredients, and that's how he would come up with all the sauces for all of his pastas. Oh my god! And they're all pan tossed. Oh my god!
I have to check it out. I've never been.
Shit! Now I want shells.
Wayne Grimes, what's up, Wayne?
What's
Nah.
up, Wayne?
Wayne was at Miami with us. He threw down some dubstep. So what I was gonna say? Oh, did you see?
What?
Did you see today? Dead Mouse posted on his Instagram that he linked up his Q button and his play button with a TV screen that said when you hit the Q,
Oh my
that's
god!
not hard, and the play button said this is not, and the Q button said how hard to do.
Oh my god!
Oh, that's funny.
You know, I think he added James too on it. You know, I wouldn't be shocked if this wasn't a ploy at them to keep them relevant.
I mean, I feel like.
Well, remember he got
is.
drunk. I'm sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's okay. I just feel like everything's a play when you reach a level
Yeah,
to get
yeah,
attention.
Yeah, just to keep that
Just to
relevancy.
be relevant.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, remember.
We'll never know. but-
Remember, a guy that's sober ends up somehow magically getting drunk on stage with Zoo, then gets pulled off stage, and so why was he drinking to begin with? And then supposedly claimed he also maybe had something other in his system than just the alcohol, or that was the reason why he started drinking the alcohol, or something to that effect.
Yeah.
But I mean, this guy has been sober for like 12 years or something. It's been
Oh,
a long
really?
Yeah, he made a really big public thing about his sobriety because he was developing an Avicii like problem. Like, and I hate to use that as an example, but I mean, that's kind of, you know, there's so many people in this scene, and that's something we should talk about someday alone, is just what the scene does to you.
Yeah.
And what you risk by being part of the scene, because people like, for example, Christoph did a video interview one time and spent about a good 20 minutes talking about how he was starting to get really ran down, and he was not ever getting caught up on sleep, and he felt himself he was getting sick a lot more and all this kind of stuff because he just got on the treadmill.
Yeah.
And remember, the treadmill killed Avicii, you know, and the scene, you know, like, I don't proudly say the fact that I had an hour and a half sleep since 10 a.m. Thursday until midnight Saturday night, But
That's the work of this industry.
yes, correct.
Yeah.
And
That
then,
is
you
just
know,
the work.
I had somebody else tell me just earlier the day that was texting me is like, yeah, I may have had a couple way too many of those weekends back to back lately. And I said, you gotta chill. You gotta remember your health.
Yeah.
And I may do these things. I certainly don't advocate recreational drug use or anything like that. I don't want anyone to interpret that I'm doing that or saying that. But we all know that these are things that happen in the scene. But you always got to keep your mental and physical health in mind.
Yep.
You can't every single Thursday start Thursday night and finish Sunday night on taking or popping pills or putting whatever up your nose.
No sleep.
Right. And there's a lot of people that do this. And
Our bodies aren't made for that.
correct.
No.
Especially when you're 48.
You know, it's crazy. I just saw Dom Dalla make he did an interview and somebody asked him, what's the advice you have for upcoming, you know, artists who are traveling and stuff like that, or just upcoming artists? And he was like, get used to sitting upright. Yeah,
Yes.
He said, I hadn't realized how little sleep I had because I've been upright, you know, for so long. And I mean, it's true. You're on the road. You know,
Yeah.
you're traveling.
Yeah.
Man, I got a great video I got to show you guys at the end of the show. It's not.
Oh, no.
It's a serious. No. You know, I text you those.
Accidentally.
An undisclosed download link. Check this out.
Here it goes again.
Bing bong. But yeah, exactly. You know that, and those are the things. You know, but they do it. And but going back to your original topic though about Dead Mouse, yeah. All of a sudden, guy who's been very public and open about his sobriety and how bad the direction he was going, suddenly just out of the blue, and then people do fall off the wagon. So I guess maybe perhaps, but is it also? And then that was also the same weekend that he talked shit about. It was
Hype.
James Hype, and then James Hype talked shit about him back, and and then who knows that they weren't just standing there texting each other, bro, I'm gonna fuck with you right now,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and because
Yeah.
these are things that you guys know that I've already done to you behind the decks, by the way,
Yeah.
like. If any of my friends ever got pissed at me because I walked up to him and being like, "That's really the track you're playing right now,"
Yeah.
like,
They just don't know you.
yeah, correct.
You know?
Yes, exactly. Tony Puccio, one time I walked up and I said, I put his arm around him. You know, he's a little shorter than me, and I put my arm around. I was like, bro, that was good. I'd listened to it like twice. And then everybody started laughing around me, and he goes, no, you don't understand. That was a huge compliment.
No, I think it's a ploy. I think it has to be a
We'll never
commercial
know,
ploy.
but I mean, we can only think about if that was us in their situation.
Yeah, it's what you got to do to stay on top, I guess.
Yeah.
No, that is true.
Yeah.
Well, it's the treadmill. Like, you think of these guys, like, I mean, once you get to that level, Hugo Hype, Dead Mouse. Well, Dead Mouse doesn't travel as much. He doesn't need to anymore. But John Summit, you know, any of these people that are high up on the list right now. I mean, they're probably traveling 4 to 5 days out of their week, likely.
Yeah.
You know, most of that spent in a car or on a plane. Not a lot of it necessarily spent in a hotel room. I always pretended if I actually ever became a rich and famous DJ, I would purposely work into my schedule. I'm like, no. I play Fridays and I play Saturdays, and that's it. Oh, you want me to play Thursday? I'll consider it, but it's going to cost you double.
Yeah.
And guess what? If I play Thursday, I'm not playing Sunday.
Yeah.
You know, no, I'm being serious though, and that's what you got to do.
You know,
And if a label says I got to play Thursday and Sunday, well, fuck you. I'll go find another label that I don't have to play Sunday and Thursday on.
I feel you on that, but when ticket sales start coming in and they like, oh man, we really need you here
Yeah,
on
but
Friday.
you just watch how you just
I
pay
know.
attention to the contract.
I know.
And just,
you do.
you know,
You should always pay attention.
Yep. You know, I mean,
Always.
because the record label in the end will never give a shit about you. Once they see hundreds of thousands of dollars piling into their bank account,
Oh yeah.
and we always said this a million times. We even said it before the show started today. It's like everybody wants to be a partner until the money's involved, and then suddenly, oh, I've got to give away half of my money to my partner. Oh no, this isn't working anymore.
Yeah.
But you sit there and you see your bank account go from 27,000 to 270,000 because you picked up an artist that made you that much money in 3 weeks. Yeah, you give a little shit less about the artist's health. You want him or her to just stay just alive enough to keep performing.
Yeah,
and
it is wild out
And I
there.
know that sounds like a shitty thing to say,
Yeah.
but I think we all know that's true.
Well, yeah, I think but you know what's happening though is mental health and wellness is starting to peak, and
It is.
in
Thankfully.
society,
Yes.
as a whole. So, I think a lot of people are starting to take that into consideration. They're trying to, at least, I think.
And we do it again, even from the business perspective. Yes, as people who are providing that are the ones that are booking these people, the ones that are backing these people, and all, they have to watch out and they have to remember things. You know, they talk about this stuff. If you work at Walmart, there's an employee assistance program and shit like that. If you've got issues and that you can call and all that kind of stuff. But if you're a $60 million a week in DJ, fuck you.
That's a good point.
You know,
That is a
You bring
good
up
point.
a good point.
Really?
Yeah, that's actually a really, really good point.
Yeah.
And I wonder why there is why there's no collective union, I guess would be the word.
Yeah, you know, the record industry would always fight that.
Oh, they
That's always been the
they'll
point.
Sniper me right now if I bring that word up
Right.
again.
Well, you
Yeah.
know, exactly. Well, and you, how many shows have you watched where the big three, I mean, technically the big three still control after all these years. We're talking 100 years, and there's the big three that still control pretty much the entire record industry for the most part.
Yeah.
And everything is done. We've got, you know, DistroKid and that stuff, which allow you to publish on these streams and all that stuff.
Symphonical, Spotify owns them.
Yeah, exactly.
I just found that out today.
Yeah. I don't think I knew they owned both.
Isn't that nuts?
Yeah. Well, that makes perfect sense, though. And then Spotify already doesn't pay.
Yeah.
So, but the point is, though, again, if it's just like, if somebody doesn't like you or one of these guys don't like you or something, you know, Arista or anybody like that or Capitol Records or,
Yeah. You're
you know, yeah.
next.
Right, they can get rid of you real quick or make sure that they'll buy you and then kill you. I mean, not literally. I'm sorry, that I shouldn't have said that. Sorry, they will buy you and then they will shut you down. Is what I meant.
Yeah.
Jesus.
You know, I wonder why it's still. I mean, I guess it comes down
Remember,
to just
most
money.
of it was mob brand.
Money and
most of it.
Yeah, it's just they control the scene.
Everything starts out wholesome. Making movies started out wholesome. We were just running film and people running around and they got paid $30, you know?
Yeah.
Making records was like, oh, cool. We can just rip this onto this thing called vinyl and then we can sell. Isn't that cool? Okay, well, here's $30. And then all of a sudden,
It all started from passion. And
yes,
the
Yeah.
love
correct.
For it.
Yeah.
And
And now,
then you get
knows what
older.
it is.
Then you get older, and then suddenly it's like, oh man, like people's really like buying a lot of this guy named the Big Boppers records. Like, this is a lot of money. Yeah. You need to put my name on here as an EP, executive producer, you know, and stuff like that. And then it just
Yeah.
goes up. It's just like sports, man. You know, it's unfortunate. I'm not a big sports guy, but we are allowing college kids now to be sponsored and take payments and stuff like that. That's fuckery.
That went through.
Oh yeah, that did. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. I'm really an a proponent of them being able to be sponsored or being able to receive money from anything like that. That just defeats the whole purpose. And then there's been arguments. Well, these kids are working hard and all that. Yeah, because they're in fucking school. That's why.
Yeah.
But they shouldn't be getting a $27,000 Wheaties contract when their sophomore year, even though they're going to go into the
Yeah.
what do they call it? What, free agency or what, when they
Yeah.
put themselves out to be
Yep.
drafted, I guess, or whatever.
Yep.
And I mean, that's fine if they're going to do that. I'm not talking shit about professional sports. That's great. But I think we're sending the wrong message to kids and stuff who want to be in professional sports that your education is no longer important
It's a
and the money
sponsorship.
is.
Yeah.
We're starting right from there
Yeah.
at 19 years old,
Yeah.
Yeah.
making sure that they understand, oh, no, here's what's important. Me giving you money and then you being the one that's going to perform for me and put my T-shirts on or my shoes or
Yeah.
eat my cereal.
Yeah, I've run a fine line on that one, but that's a whole nother subject. 'Cause
Yeah.
I don't really watch
That's a
sports too
whole
much
other
anymore.
topic for a
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
Yeah,
other day.
but I do run on the side where they should maybe get something that helps pay for their
But
schooling.
most of their education is already paid for.
Sometimes, yeah. Most, not all, but most. Yeah.
But you're right. But again,
something. There should be something, but
Yes.
not to the level of degree that it is in
and again,
NFL.
where we went for this topic is I just was wrapping that back into the treadmill.
Yeah.
I know I got off
The
topic
treadmill
there.
will work your ass, yeah.
Right? And then these kids being founded
Yeah.
or being discovered by these big record groups, and then suddenly, boom.
Yep.
You know, again, it killed Avicii.
Yeah.
You know, everybody knows this. And even though it killed Avicii, it still has taken this long for this even to become a kind of talked about topic.
Yeah.
I think that what you touched on earlier about the people being, having some representation or something to even lean on is kind of lacking in this industry.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. I mean,
everybody could go to therapy, but like, does that therapist understand that you have to be up till 4 a.m. to get your work
Correct.
done? Does that therapist, you know what I mean? So,
and look what we talked about last week. We were talking about kids representing kids.
yeah.
And how I was just talking to somebody earlier today about marketing and whether or not people, we were talking about real quick just about like flyer marketing. There was the discussion was making a unique flyer for every one of the events we were doing. I was like, no. That's not how internet marketing works. Remember, most of these things are going to be seen on stories. It's not like you're in a car driving down the street amongst 100 cars and then you see the one unique car. And then what do? You turn, you look at it, right? But you are looking at one car and only one car, and you're flipping through looking at a new car every time. So you want to actually have the car that they recognize, because that's what they're actually going to stop and see. When they see your face or they see your logo or they see your flyer, then wait,
Yes.
they're doing another show.
Yes.
And that's a very common mistake in here. People could keep thinking they want to be unique. And I was like, no. You got to remember, 90% of this stuff is being viewed on a story. You want to be consistent. You want to send a consistent brand and message, and that's what gets everybody's attention.
Yes, it is. Well, what a show.
What a show.
What a show. I did want to end on the Mirage opening soon.
We'll be in New York.
Yeah, we'll be in New York in July.
20th.
So
to
that'll
26th.
be fun. Yeah.
Definitely going to check out the Mirage.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're going to have hopefully a few shows up there. Hopefully we have a Humble
That'd
House
be cool.
show up in New York. We're trying to plan it out right now. But
If
the
anyone's going to
Mirage,
be in New York, July 20th to the 27th, let us know.
holla at us. Okay, guys. Well, that was Houseology Live. It was another
Yes.
show on
Another one in the books.
at the Moxy. Another 90-minute golden ticket.
Went by so quick.
Yeah, we had
it's
our
nice
guest,
though,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. We had our guest DJ Livi Baby came in, and she gave us a rundown on what she's been up to and where she's going. So please stay tuned for that. Well, we got a couple people on there. What's up, guys? Wayne. Oh shoot, it just cleared. Dang. Well, I know Wayne was on there. Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We got 3 people on here right now on this one. Guys, I don't know. I can't see who you are. You didn't say hi yet to us, but say hi. So,
I know
Sylvia.
Sam was
Hey,
watching, by the way.
guys. Who?
Yeah.
Sam,
Oh.
our friend
Oh,
Sam.
nice.
Yes,
Sam.
he
What's
was
up,
watching.
Sam? Thanks for
What's up,
watching.
Sam? I'm Sam.
All right, guys.
Sam and Sam.
Catch us live every Monday at 6:30 to 8 at the
Yes.
Moxy Hotel. And this is Humble House Radio. I'm DJ Ketone. We got Rave Daddy Robbie, DJ Volume today. Embrace and Danielle and Rich are out today, but we will catch them another time. And we will see you guys next week.
Thanks you so much, everybody. Take care.
Bye.
Wrapping it up for this week's show. Tune in next Monday at 6 p.m. for the best up-to-date info on EDM news, culture, and gossip on the Houseology Live show.
Humble House Radio.